Today on 3D Outdoors, we're going to be doing a review on the Bite Me Box Panfish Tip-Up. Stay tuned. You've probably seen my Bite Me Box video that's up, and I absolutely love those. The fact that they're heated so they keep the hole thawed the whole time, and the sensitivity settings on them are awesome. I've caught bunches of fish on them. Absolutely love them. Now, are they expensive? Yes, they are. So now we're looking at the panfish version is what they're calling it. And you're going to say, well, why do you have that? What is the benefit to that over the boxes? Well, let's go into that. We'll go into the pluses, then we'll talk about a few of the negatives, and then we'll go from there. So the number one positive is, in my opinion, the legs fold up, and you could store quite a few of these in a bucket. Where the boxes are huge, they take up a lot of space. And these are probably a little bit lighter. So if you were out on early ice and the holes weren't freezing up, or very little, and you could go around and scoop them, you could set these up and fish effectively for panfish. Or if you had a beautiful day where it was nice outside and above freezing and you didn't have to worry about the holes freezing, this would definitely be a great option. And it has the same sensitivity that the boxes have. They've set up the same flag system, the same weight, and when they bite, boom, you know the fish free spools the line off, and then you just set the hook on them and pull them in. Do you want to invest all that money and not be able to use these for part of the ice season? Well, I found another use for it. And I'm going to roll in some video right here, and you will see I am actually using this inside of my shack. Yes, inside. And you're going to say, why are you doing that? Don't you like watching a bobber go down? And yes, I do. I love a good bobber bite. I love watching that bobber slowly go down, and that's just a lot of fun. However, the disadvantage of that is there's a constant tension on the fish. So when the fish is pulling that bobber down, it can feel that resistance the whole time. And it may spit it, especially if they're finicky. Not with this. This, they're going to trip that, and then they're going to free spool. So that resistance isn't there. So they can just take it. You have the same advantage of the zero resistance with this that you have with the boxes. And it's small form factor, and you'll see in the video, I just have it sitting there. The only thing you have to watch out for is to make sure you have enough clearance in the back for the flag to tip. And that's it. So I don't have to worry about another, I can set this up, I don't have to worry about another fishing rod sitting next to me, how I'm going to hang that in the shack and then get tangled up in it or whatever. I just have this sitting above the hole, and when the fish bites, I do the same thing I do with a box. I really like it as an inside option, and obviously the holes aren't freezing over. So you're going to get the same advantages to this using it inside of your shack as you would outside. I could see people with permies that are using rattle reels or whatever using these instead. I mean, why would you put a rattle reel on when you could set one of these up and watch them tip up in a permanent? Haven't been out with anybody with a permanent to try it, but I think this would be a great option in permies even. So there's a lot of pluses. You have zero resistance once it's tripped. The flag trips, you can set the resistance on that by the weight and how you position your spool. Same adjustability that the boxes have. The legs fold up so that you have a small form factor so that you can load lots of them in a bucket if you needed to take them along. So lots of advantages to it. Great job on designing this. Absolutely love it. Now let's talk about some of the disadvantages. One, obviously, you're not going to use it outside in the winter. Now it's a fraction of the price, and I've already given you an option for using it inside the shack. And when I say fraction of the price, it's still very expensive. And when this arrives, it's in pieces just like the other one was, and everything's put in a plastic bag inside a box. And more than likely, I'm going to guess that yours is going to arrive just like mine did. In shipping, the point of the flag tore through the bag, and I had parts all over inside the box. And when I picked it up to get it out of the box, obviously I didn't notice, and more parts came out and rolled all over the floor. So I played the pickup game and got everything picked up and put it together. So I don't know if there'd be a better shipping option than that. I know that's a minor thing, but it was just irritating trying to chase it all around. Plus the fact that you're paying a premium price and you have to put it together. So it's a little bit of work. You could, and with this thing, as it folds up like this, they could put it in the same size box that they shipped it to me in pieces, and they could ship it to me put together. Now I know it takes some labor to put it together, and that's part of the deal. I'm sure they'd say they'd have to charge more if it was pre-assembled coming to you, but just a little piece of feedback on that, I guess I would say. The other thing is I'm fishing an 8-inch hole. And sometimes, believe me, I worry that somebody might come along and kick that puppy and it might go down the hole. I don't know if it actually would, but boy, when I'm setting this above that 8-inch hole, and I should take and measure that out, it gets pretty darn close. Now, fortunately, I think I have some of this PVC material. It looks like just pieces of what they normally use for their boxes, but I probably have some chunks of something similar to this sitting around. I might actually cut myself some that are a little bit longer, because if you fold these up like this, it would not take any more room if there was an additional inch on here, and it still wouldn't interfere with this. And I think you'd probably clear up here. You could almost go as far as the top of this whole bracket if you wanted to make sure that somebody that had a 10-inch hole wouldn't knock it down a 10-inch hole. But again, you can work around it, but the point of it is you're going to have it sitting above the hole so it free spools down. It's not like you can set it back and not worry about it. You have to have that above the hole for the purpose and the way it's designed. So these legs could be a little bit longer. Pre-assembly would be great. If it wasn't pre-assembled in something that wouldn't puncture as easy, so that you're playing, and I know there's only so many parts in this, but those little washers and nuts that are on here, they were fun to find when I pulled it out, and they flew on the floor and bounced around under the bench and everything. So just a few things that could be better. However, my overall view of the Panfish tip-up, excellent. It's an awesome product. It's just like the boxes, except more portable, and in my opinion, usable inside of a shack. So I think it's great. Would I advise you in getting one? Definitely. If this fits what you would like to do with it, if you want early ice or a nice beautiful day where it's not freezing over, and you want to set a bunch of these out, if you have a group of people or for yourself, depending on how many lines you can have out where you are. Here in the state that I'm in, we can have 4 lines at a time. So I have 2 boxes in one of these now, so I gladly set 3 out and jig with a jigging rod as well. And that's pretty much what I do now. I set the 2 boxes outside, I set this one in the shack with me, and I jig with a jigging rod, and it works awesome. So would I advise getting them if they fit how you want to fish? Most definitely. They're excellent and they work great. So there you go. There is my review of the Bite Me Box Panfish Tip-Up. This is Dan with 3D Outdoors, reminding you to get into the outdoors and enjoy everything it has to offer. If you like this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button at the bottom. See you next time.